Hello, and this is Delia again, and I'm reading this book called The 5-Minute Tales for 4-Year-Olds. My daughter's not 4, but she enjoys books, don't you, Scarlett? Yay! We are outside today. It is really kind of mild, but it's humid. So we decided to come out and listen to the birds and sit outside for a little while. The clouds are still cloudy, but we can hear the birds and we can hear people outside. We're going to read the story called Elephant Has a Cold. It was a peaceful morning in the jungle. Parrot was flying through the treetops, calling good morning to everyone. Giraffe was nibbling leaves. Monkey was picking coconuts, and Hippo was wallowing in the muddy river. Everything was calm and quiet until achoo! The loud crash echoed through the jungle, rattling the treetops and making the ground tremble. Coconuts toppled down and rolled everywhere. "What happened?" cried Monkey. "Was it an earthquake?" asked Giraffe. "The river bend shook," Hippo explained. All the animals were worried that something terrible was happening to the jungle. Then Parrot solved the mystery. "I saw it all," she said, flying down to them. "It was an elephant, and he has a cold, and he sneezed." Suddenly, ah-chip-boom! And it happened again and again. Trees shook, and large rocks began sliding into the river. "This is awful," said Hippo, hurrying into the bank. "We have to do something." When another boom echoed through the jungle, the animals' minds were made up. "We have to cure Elephant's cold," said Giraffe. "Otherwise, we'll never have any peace." Together, the animals tramped through the jungle to Elephant's home. As they got closer, they could hear loud sniffling and snuffling. "Hello," said Elephant when he saw his friends. I have in my trunk." "Pardon," said Giraffe politely. "I think Elephant's trying to say that he has a cold in his trunk," Parrot explained. "Oh," said Giraffe, "we know. We heard you sneezing, and we're here to help." "Thank you," said Elephant, which the others understood meant thank you. "Warm coconut milk can be very soothing," said Monkey. "I've got some fresh coconuts right here. I'll make you a nice drink." Monkey opened a coconut, poured out some milk, and warmed it in the sunshine before giving it to Elephant. Elephant stuck out his trunk and tried to drink some of the milk. Slurp, slurp, boom! A great big sneeze sent the coconut milk flying and splashing over everyone else. "Oh dear," said Monkey. Elephant sniffed miserably. "I've never had a toad before," he said. "I just want to feel better." "Why don't you take a nice soothing mud bath?" asked Hippo. "That always makes me feel better." Everyone thought that sounded like a good idea. So Elephant followed Hippo down to the river. Together they sank into the warm, muddy water. Now, what are you looking for? You listen to where those sounds were coming from. Where's those sounds coming from? "Very relaxing," said Elephant. "Yes," said Hippo. "It is very relaxing, isn't it?" Everyone else was beginning to relax too, as they watched Elephant sink down deeper into the mud with a happy smile on his face. Deeper down into the mud. "Ah," sighed Elephant contentedly. "Ah, jump, boom!" Elephant sneezed splattered mud all over his friends. "It's no use," said Parrot, shaking the mud out of her feathers. "There's only one thing to do." "What?" asked the others. "We'll have to call Dr. Lion," said Parrot. "He's the only one who will know how to cure Elephant's cold once and for all." So Parrot flew over toward the plains where Dr. Elephant lived. And in the meantime, the others tried to make Elephant comfortable. Look at him. Do you think he's comfortable? There he is. Soon Parrot was back with Dr. Lion. "Where's the patient?" Dr. Lion asked importantly. The animals led him to Elephant, who was sitting miserably with some palm leaves wrapped around his trunk. Said Dr. Lion, listening to Elephant's chest. "I see," Dr. Lion, looking on Elephant's ears. "Yes, indeed," said Dr. Lion, looking down Elephant's trunk. Well, said Dr. Lion, after he had finished examining Elephant, the only thing that would cure Elephant bad cold is... The other animals came closer to listen. Rest, announced Dr. Lion. Lots of rest is the only cure for a cold in the trunk. The animals all thanked Dr. Lion and promised they would make sure Elephant got as much rest as possible. As soon as Dr. Lion left, they started. Monkey and Giraffe gathered leaves and twigs to make a cozy bed for Elephant. Hippo tucked him in, and Parrot sang him a soft lullaby. Soon Elephant was fast asleep. Elephant slept for the rest of the day and all that night, and all the next day and night too. His friends took turns sitting with him so they could be sure he was all right. He snuffled and snored, but he didn't sneeze, not once. On the third morning, Elephant woke up, stretched his trunk, and took a deep breath. All his friends held their breath. I feel so much better, Elephant announced. The other animals cheered and hugged Elephant. We're so glad, they said. Thank you all for looking after me, said Elephant. You've been such good friends. And of course, I would do the same for any of you if you had a cold. Squawk! Achoo! I may be next. Look, the parrot got it now. Blossom the cow. See the cow? At the top of the hill was a farm. On the farm there was a big house, and a stable for the horse, and a coop for the chickens, and pen for the sheep, and a milking barn for Blossom the cow, and a sty for the pigs. The farmer was Mr. Pinstripe, and Blossom was his favorite animal. Farmer Pinstripe looked after Blossom. Mrs. Pinstripe looked after the visitors who came to stay on the farm for a vacation. One Monday morning at breakfast, Mrs. Pinstripe noticed that none of her visitors had eaten their cornflakes. Then she noticed that none of them had drunk their tea or coffee, or eaten their bread and butter of their yogurt. Is anything wrong with your breakfast, Mrs. Pinstripe asked them. No, not at all, they cried. No, absolutely not. No. Well, the butter tastes funny, said one of the visitors quickly. And the yogurt tastes funny too, said another. And the cream and milk tastes funny too, said someone else. Mrs. Pinstripe remembered that the same thing had happened last Monday, and the Monday before that. It was very odd. What are you doing? Are you sprawled on the ground? I can't understand it, she said. Yesterday's milk was fine. It must be the cow of yours, Blossom, she complained to Farmer Pinstripe. We'll do this in chapters. Farmer Pinstripe scratched his head. He couldn't understand it either. Blossom's milk was the best he'd ever tasted. He had won prizes for it. What could be wrong? He would have to keep an eye on her. Farmer Pinstripe decided to watch Blossom everywhere she went. All that day he watched Blossom eat grass, and sometimes he watched her shoo away flies with her swishy tail, and sometimes he watched her doing nothing at all. Cows are very good at doing nothing at all. Okay, this is part 1, and I'm going to continue to part 2.